Right now, Banyana Banyana depart for the upcoming FIFA Women's World Cup in Oceania after a chaotic 4 days. In fact, the team did not play their friendly on Sunday because of a contractual dispute over their payment structure with the South African Football Association. The Department of Sports, Motsepe Foundation and Ithuba have now intervened to remedy the situation. In fact, joining us from the OR Tambo International Airport is eNCA Sports Reporter Tshepo Thobane. Tshepo, good afternoon. Thank you so much for making the time. We know that Banyana Banyana are jetting off. The first group at least leaves today and the next will leave tomorrow. What's the latest that you can share with us? What's the mood like there?
Afternoon, William. As you can see behind me, maybe let me step out of shot so that my colleague can show you the team bus and the players and the deputy minister. Finally, they are here at the airport about to depart for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Before maybe I speak to some of the players here, let me speak to the deputy minister of sport here. As you can see, things will just continue as things happen. Deputy minister, thank you for your time. I mean, a lot of people were panicking in terms of will the team leave. Here we are seeing the first batch. How relieved are you?
Look, here is the team. They are leaving for New Zealand and Australia. We are very relieved as a country. The interventions that we did to make sure that the union and SAFA gets into negotiations have borne fruit. That's what is important for us. And here we are now. So they are leaving. All that we can hope for is that they must have a good time. The most important thing for me now is that they must make sure that their mindset is on the tournament. Everything that else that has happened now, that was a sideshow, is not important. Now, they must go there, represent the country, do their best. The whole country is behind them. That's the most important thing.
I was about to, that was going to be my follow-up question in terms of the message now as they leave, the send-off message for them following everything that has happened. Probably it might affect them mentally going into the tournament. They've missed a match against Botswana. What do you say to the girls and the technical team as they leave today?
Now, you know, challenges happen in life. And challenges make you grow and make you better. They must take this as a learning curve and as a lesson. Now, they must just focus, go there. 60 million South Africans want them to be successful. We are behind them. Here is the president of the Youth League. He's also here to make sure that they go well. So everybody wants them to be successful. That's all we want.
Speaking of him, thank you so much, Deputy Minister, the newly elected president of the ANC Youth League. The reason you are here, following the drama that has happened in the past, in fact, from last weekend, Sunday to today, what do you say to the girls?
Look, I wish them all the best. They've always proven that they're the best in South Africa. They're better than many. And we are here to support them, and their demands that they are wishing, we are there to support their demands. They must be paid what they deserve. They must be supported, get all the sponsors. All South Africans must rally behind the girls, and they must focus on the games ahead. They must forget about all the challenges we are here in the country to fight for them, to resolve all the problems of low payments that they are receiving.
Thank you so much for your time. You can hear, William, it's a low-key affair here, of course, it's understandably so because of the manner in which, in fact, from last week, Saturday, the manner in which things happened in terms of the Banyana Banyana players protesting. It is not what we expected it to be, like a proper send-off. But you can see we can still try to get more comments from the players, especially. There's Hilda. Let me go and try and speak to Hilda. Just try. Hilda, you are live on eNCA. Hilda, you are live on eNCA. Thank you so much for your time. I don't know why you're shy, because you should be excited that the team is leaving.
I am excited, and I'm not running away.
What has the past few days been for you guys? I can imagine mentally you not preparing, being in camp and ending up not playing that friendly against Botswana. How has the whole process been for you as players?
Stressful. That's all I can say.
Are you relieved now that you are finally leaving?
Yes, I am, and I'm happy.
Tell us, for the benefit of those who don't know, what does it do to a player to have off the field that drama, because as players, you should be concentrating on camps, playing friendlies, and properly concentrating on the match. How do you now come back from all that drama to make sure that as you're about to leave, you are not affected mentally, especially?
You just accept everything that's happening. I mean, you can't just dwell on the past. You move on from everything and just focus on the task ahead, of which is the World Cup.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and all the best. You can hear, William, things are happening here. Some of them a bit shy, but you can understand the situation that the girls have been through in terms of protesting with the association. Finally, most of the things look to be a little bit under control. Let's hope that they will concentrate. Here's another player that will speak to Thembi Kgatlana. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, I spoke to Hilda earlier. Let me sit down. I spoke to Hilda earlier about the stress that you guys went through. I mean, from the first day of camp, everything seemed to be fine up until last weekend, Saturday. Tell us about what went through the players' minds during that time.
I mean, it's difficult that we had to get into this position. But I think the fact that we're able to come into agreement with the federation makes us to be at ease, everyone to be at ease, and I know there was a lot of disruption in the country, but I think from today in the press conference, we told the nation that everything is okay and it's what it is. And thank you to the union for coming in to help, and for the government to mediating, making sure that we get into an agreement.
Are you fine? Are you guys relieved now that finally you are going overseas?
I don't think it was an issue. It was never a problem because the squad was out, so it would be difficult for the federation to get another set of players, and I think it would even cause more disruption to the country than what it has done now. You know, the people seeing and loving who they thought were going to go to the World Cup, so I don't think it was ever a question of are they going to bring a new squad or no. It was a very short time to organize visas and all the other things, so I'm happy that everyone is going to the World Cup.
Finally, Thembi, obviously you missed one match. I'm sure now you are looking forward to play that friendly against Costa Rica. Missing that match against Botswana, do you think it will affect you guys?
To be honest, I don't know, because it's different to prepare for the World Cup or for any tournament and playing friendlies and actually being at big tournaments. You know, we can agree to disagree that we had so many games and preparations for the 2019 World Cup, but we're out in the first round. You know, so it's, I think, who best wants to win on the day. And now that we know our struggles and we know the only one that's struggling, there's a lot of federations that are struggling right now. So it's not a question of mentally are you there or no, but I think it's just going into the World Cup because we waited for this long.
The contracts, are you happy?
I mean, we didn't sign the contract, we signed an annexure. So the contract is an ongoing thing. It's not something that you can sort out. That's why for many years it was never settled, you know. We need to come into an agreement, of course, over the long term of things that need to change, of how things need to be done. And it's a constant negotiation between the union, the people that are fighting for us, and the federation to, you know, come to a perfect agreement of making sure that both parties are happy.
Now, can you at least focus on the tournament?
It was never a question. We were focused on the tournament. It was just the fact that this had to come up, and it came up at, I think, a very difficult time because we're supposed to be, you know, happy to go to the World Cup, but a couple of days have been very stressful. But here we are, and we're happy to go to the World Cup.
Thank you so much. You can join the rest of your teammates. William, yeah, you can hear from the players Thembi Kgatlana and Hilda that spoke. They are very relieved and they are excited that finally they are leaving. The send-off is finally happening. We spoke to the Deputy Minister earlier and the ANC League President. They have been supportive. We've heard from the Minister of Sport earlier on this morning. We've heard from the SAFA President, Danny Joran. So it looks like all hands on deck in terms of the team and the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup.
Tshepo, before I let you go, just for context, obviously player contracts and these sort of protests from players are not foreign and exclusive to South Africa, right? If you remember at the Russian World Cup, Nigerian players refused to play already in the World Cup country of the hosting nation until someone from the federation came to address them, begging them to play literally in the change room. So to have these conversations about Banyana Banyana today, who are world beaters, who are African champions, who have performed way better than Bafana Bafana has in the last while, why are we still having these conversations? What have you heard? What has been your assessment?
It's a bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a challenge, William, because you, especially when a big tournament comes, you'd want issues like this. In 2023, we are still talking about such issues of players, financial issues. It's quite disappointing, and I'm sure everybody from the South African Football Association, hopefully they've learned their lesson that from now on they will focus, they will do things beforehand before they get out of hand. Before I continue, William, I've got Lady Lipstick, if you can remember. Nomvula Khwale. You remember her, she's got a brace at the AFCON, women's AFCON, where she scored a brace in the final. Thank you so much for your time. I was with you on Sunday when you guys came. I saw you were very stressed. You were a different Lady Lipstick that I saw during the training camps that you guys had. Yeah. But now all that has passed on. What do you have to say?
Yes, you're not lying by saying we had quite stressful days that, we're experiencing as a team, as a staff. But, as you said, those days are over. Right now we have to focus on the task at hand, and that is traveling, number one, and making sure that we adapt really well when we get to New Zealand. The issues of the monies, everything, the presidents, and everybody else can discuss those things. For us right now, it's just to make sure that we make the country proud and we perform.
Have you bought enough lipsticks for the trip?
Do you want me to show you?
No, you can show me.
I've got more than enough. My lady who, sponsors me or supplies me with lipstick, we met before we left, and, thank you so much, Nkele. Aqua Cosmetics does so much for me, and I hope many more other brands can show up because I really love my lipsticks, and I'll be having a little touch-up of makeup at the World Cup, so I'm really excited.
Oh, good to see you smiling. I spoke to Thembi earlier before we end off. I spoke to Thembi about missing that friendly against Botswana. How do you now come back from that? Yes, there's a friendly that you are going to play before the start of the tournament against Costa Rica.
No, the focus is 100%. We've never, taken our eyes off the ball. We just wanted to focus on issues that had to be resolved before we leave the country. So there is no doubt whatsoever from the girls that we've never been ready, or, now all of a sudden we've lost the focus, going into the World Cup. Focus is 100%. The girls are ready. We are ready to perform. Nothing has changed whatsoever.
Thank you so much. All the best. We want to see those goals.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You can hear, William, the players are finally now excited by going to the FIFA World Cup.
Tshepo Thobane, live to us from the OR International Airport. Thank you so much for those visuals and those conversations with the players who are going to represent South Africa in New Zealand and Australia. We're going to move on to this now.